there everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. And today here is the special build that I've been talking about. It's a little still, or the video is a little standing still here in the beginning. It's starting up now, but it's just to show you that I didn't record this first part because I was kind of figuring out how to do it and kind of making the houses just to see if it could fit, and then I got pretty happy about how it ended up, and I was like, I don't want to do this all over again, cause what if I don't get it exactly as I wanted it to be? And so I'll just start it from here. So it's basically starting with a clean canvas, if you can say it like that, of the houses. I don't know, but this is my home. That's what I'm making. I'm making where I'm from, my house, and basically I live at a farm. So the first thing here we're working on is the barn. It might look a little bit weird with that staircase in the front there, but it's supposed to be like this. It's like a road thing that goes up to this bigger doors on top there. It's not that steep in real life, but of course, since we don't have terrain tools, it's not that easy to make it exactly as it's supposed to be. Also, my house is in a very hilly place, so we have a basement, but you can't. There's not a basement in this build, cause it would just look weird. I did try to make it to cut out one level down to make the basement, but it just looked pretty weird, and I would rather just have the houses above ground than try to figure out how to do the basement part. So yeah, my house usually it has 2 main floors and 1 basement and the attic, but the basement and the attic is not in this video or in this build. It would just be too much work basically. So yeah, just trying to figure out the landscape, and yeah, should have had a lot that is a lot longer than this, not particularly wide or longer from right and left, or I don't know how to say it, but it's not 100% correct in dimension. Of course, it's not easy to get it like that in The Sims, but the house and the barn is not that close together in real life, and the barn is also longer. So, but I couldn't have it wasn't any more space. And this is the biggest lot there is, so there's a lot of space behind the houses, but it's not that way we're building. So yeah, so it's basically just a big blank area behind the houses, which is true. In where I'm from too, there's a huge field, or a hill downhill to the water. So this lot was actually perfect because you have the water on the end there. You will see, I don't know if it's a screenshot in the second video, because this house build is divided into 2 videos. And in the second one you will see this picture where it's taken from the edge of the balcony there, looking out to the water, and it's pretty much a view that I love to look at whenever I'm home, especially in the summer or in the winter when it's white everywhere, snow is falling everywhere. It's a beautiful picture to see, or is it a beautiful thing to see. The landscape is very nice, and I don't know how many pictures I got of it, and I don't know, I take picture of it all the time. Every time I am there basically, and it looks nice. But yeah, just reforming a little bit of the barn here, because I realized that it doesn't stick out that much in front. It does stick out more in the back instead, and I was like, oh yeah, there was something weird about this, so had to rework it, but it turned out okay. So yeah, I'm not really furnishing anything in the barn. I do, yeah, just place out some rooms there, which is basically the only really room that is in the barn. Is basically like this room where the milk ends up, and because we have cows, so it's basically like that room, and then there's like this entrance room, and then it's basically just the barn, like the farm where all the cows are standing. And I wasn't gonna place out all that. I have an idea of something I might do with the barn, but I don't know if that will be a video that will come up soon. I don't know. I need to think a bit more about it and try to plan it out. But we're focusing mostly on the house in these videos. And here I'm just putting out the layout of the house, and you will see once we start furnishing, there won't be that much furnishing in this bit. Most of it will be in the next one. And it's a lot of different things, because we've been, I would say for the last maybe 10 years, has it been that long? Probably, because the time is going way too fast. We've been we oh my god, I totally forgot the word. We've been, oh my god, what's the word, like refurnishing, or like oh my god, it's standing still. But basically just modernizing the house, because it's a very old house. It's almost 100 years old, I would say. It was here by World War II, for example. Funny story. Not really, but the Germans used our basement as a food storage, apparently, which is pretty cool. Or I don't know. It's a little funny. But yeah, that's a fun fact about my house. And also the house didn't stand there since it was built. It was built because where I live, there's like a bigger area, and there's like this other farm and house, like a house and a barn and stuff, beside ours, and our house was actually standing next to that other house, but they moved it, and that's a long time ago. So I was like, oh my god, like all that work when you moved it, because you took it apart, all of it, and put it together again, and you didn't have all those machines and everything you got now back then. Though yeah, of course you had a little bit of stuff, but no, it was basically done by manpower, and probably horses helped like drag things over. I don't know, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I do not know that much, but yeah, it did stand another place before, and it got moved beside the farm or the barn, which also was a lot smaller before. They actually rebuilt it, or built it bigger, when I was probably like 2 or 3 years old, because there is a picture of me standing somewhere. Yeah, I think, yeah, many years ago. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, the last 10 years, I would say, we have tried to upgrade the house, because it was starting to get pretty old, and I don't think I get the full effect of that in this video, because it's not that easy, and there's a lack of clutter in this house, because I was just like, oh, it's so big, and I was like, no, I can't do this. But yeah, there is like, we started off by, I think the first thing we did was the kitchen and the living room and the hallway. It was basically just everything at once, cause yeah, because it all was connected. Like before, you could it's a little hard to explain now when you can't see it, because I'm making the outside, and these rocks are to resemble like this. We have this a stone, I don't know, it's like a wall, because of course in real life it's very hilly, so like the ground was flattened out outside the house, but you know there's a hill there, so you put a lot of rocks in front of it to make the grass or stay in place. I don't know. I'll stop talking about that. And yeah, making this little fenced area, because we have this, the cows goes out here and down to like down towards the water, where they have like a fenced in area where they go in the summer, or at that's one of many places they go in the summer. So it's very like muddy and gross looking right there, because where they walk, and when it's raining and everything, they like stamp up the grass and everything, so it gets very muddy. So yeah, I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise, because there's the kids living upstairs apparently just got home from school, so yay. Yeah, hate when that happens, but I didn't get a chance to record any earlier because I overslept. I was supposed to wake up at 10. Apparently my alarm didn't go off, or I turned it off in my sleep, no idea. But I slept till 11:30. Oops. So yeah, here we're working on the just doing a little bit of the interior, basically just like wallpaper and flooring. And you can see here this open space here is like the kitchen is supposed to be in that little in nook there. Before we renovated it, the wall there was closed and there was just a door there, and you could literally go from the hallway into the kitchen, then into the living room, into the second hallway, and then into the kitchen again. So you can basically go around there. And I remember when we our little cat, the cat we have now, I talked about it in my last video, I think. Yeah, the cat we have now, when she was little, I think we got her, yeah, because she's 11 years old, so she was small when we renovated the kitchen. And we used to make this, like, have this string, long string with newspaper tied on the end of it as like a cat toy. Of course, we didn't buy cat toys, we made them ourselves. And we could literally run in like a circle from the kitchen, living room, hallway, kitchen, living room, hallway, around and around with this string after us, and the cat would just like slide over the floor running after it, trying to catch it. And it was so funny because she was like, the floor got kind of like slippery sometimes, and or I don't know, I guess it was slippery for her. And she would just like bang into the wall, or not bang into them, like she didn't get hurt or anything, but it was pretty funny. But now after we refurnished it, we closed off the wall into the hallway on the left there. We closed off that door, so it was just a full wall. And you should have seen the kitchen we had before. It was literally, it had a green floor and a yellow walls. No, was the walls yellow? At least some of them were yellow. And I remember the fridge was pretty small, and it was green too, I think. And yeah, very nice. Oh my god, I don't know, it's weird because whenever the years go by and like you refurnish things, you kind of start to forget a little bit about how thing looks. But there's like this few things that stuck, and I remember how the layout was. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it was very beautiful. Not really, but yeah. And we also refurnished the living area. We basically refurnished the whole floor there, so you could stand in the basement and look up 2 floors, which was pretty cool. We really did the basement at the same time too. It was a big renovation. We lived out in a caravan for that whole period, which was pretty long. Like we had to make dinner there. We slept in our own beds, I think, yeah, but we had to go through the door from the balcony, which wasn't the main entrance. It was kind of like a nicer entrance. And here you can see from the dining table, it's a little bit like a blast from the past, I would say, because we haven't changed. Like, we redid the kitchen and the living area and everything, but we didn't get a new table. And my mom's been talking about, oh, I want a new table for so long, but she never bought one because she's never found one that she's happy with. And tables are so expensive, it's crazy. And we also have a lot of old chairs and also some wooden chairs. We have some chairs with like pillows on them, or like this thing on them to make them like softer, but we also have some wooden chairs, as you can see there. Something I forgot to do was place some of those chairs other places in the house, because they are everywhere. Like, they're in the hallways, they're in the office room, they're in the basement. I don't know how many of those chairs we have, but when you finally collect everyone, you can have a lot of people seated around that table, because we can also drag it out, because the table is pretty nice. It's just that it's getting old and it's very, like, it has a lot of marks in it and everything, so that's why we need a new table. But my mom has never found anything that is actually as good as the one we have, because we can, like, usually you can seat 3, 6, 7, 8 people in it, but when you drag it out, you can get probably like 12 if you, or more, depending on if it's a bunch of adults or a bunch of kids sitting there, because yeah, you can squeeze a lot of people in. But yeah, and this little TV nook, that door should have been a little bit more to the right, the small door there, but since the hallway and the staircase got in the way, it got a little cramped. But yeah, I'm trying to get the layout as good as it is in real life. And we're actually getting close to the end of the video here. Basically just did the kitchen and the living area, and then we're having a little transformation into that. We have a second living room that we basically only use for very rare occasions, like Christmas and birthday parties, if we're like, there's a lot of people, or not always a lot of people, but if there's both kids and adults, so kids can sit in one place and the adults can sit in another. And we're doing the transformation by placing a chair here and somewhere soon there, and then we place it in the other place too, because those chairs, they go back and forth. But this is the first part of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for my weird voiceover. I was going to talk about a lot of other things too, but it went too fast. So I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.